Hey guys, this is Brian Sykes with the AI Lab. Adobe Photoshop just introduced a new feature, which I think you guys are going to find pretty helpful when it comes to working with your images. Now, in order to work through this process, I've got a quick little tutorial, and I want to show you how we can utilize this feature inside of Photoshop. And so first, I went to pexels.com. I grabbed this image from Chevette's production. I like having the multiple characters, so I've downloaded that and I brought it into Adobe Photoshop. Now, this is the latest version, the latest beta. So here's what it can do for you. Under your select tools, you got this little character right here, is your object selection tool. Once you've got your image open, you want to choose this, and when you do, you'll notice that we have a new functionality up here at the top that says select people. Now here's how this is kind of cool. When I click on this, notice what it does. It finds the people inside of my image and it gives me the selections. Now here's what's cool is it doesn't stop there. This alone is pretty neat. As I mouse over each of these, you can see each of the characters are selected. But here's where it gets next level. If I click on one of these images, there's a drop-down menu that pops up underneath. So we can see right away the basic features: hair, eyebrows, eyes, pupil, nose, mouth, ears, facial skin, beard, upper body skin. All of that becomes selectable, but notice there's even show more. When I click on show more, there's a few more options. In this case, there is upper close and lower close. So upper close being the shirt, lower close being the pants and whatever outfit it might be on. But by clicking upper close and choose apply, you notice that I now have a selection for my character here right away. This is really kind of cool. So just the selection element, this is a neat feature, but watch what we can do with this. So because I've made a selection, that selection is basically riding on top of this product. I'm on a Mac. First, you want to unlock your layer, make sure that layer is selected, and then do Command J twice. Command J basically creates a duplicate of that particular thing. So the layer is, let me turn this all off, and you can see it's just the shirt, okay? But I've done it twice. Now here's a fun little fast way you can kind of play with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this top layer, and I'm going to edit the individual layer. What I want to do is I'm going to create a new fill or adjustment layer. Click on this, and the first thing I'm going to do is hue saturation. Now under hue saturation, I'm going to take the saturation all the way to 0. You see it applies to everything, but I want it to apply just to my shirt. So what I'm going to do from there, when I click on this, it's basically going to clip this functionality to the layer beneath it. So this adjustment layer affects all layers beneath. When I click, everything goes back to color except for the t-shirt, which is now black and white purely. Okay, now I'm going to go back into my layers. So that's what's happened to this first layer. So I want to take this layer 1 copy, and I'm going to tell it, instead of normal, I'm going to tell it to be multiply. All right, this is going to make sense in just a second. Now what I want to do with this is next, in this layer 1 that's down beneath this, I want to take this and I'm going to click on the new adjustment layer, and I'm going to choose solid color. Okay, since it's kind of Christmas time, let's go with a nice big red. If I hold my Option key down on the Mac and go near the border between this layer and the other layer, you see that little pop-up that shows up? I'm going to click on that. And this functions the same way as before, where it's basically locking this color adjustment layer to the layer beneath it. It's basically clipping it to that. Now, one more thing I want to do, blending options. Okay, with blending options, you'll see that we've got down here blend if, and the bottom says underlying layer. Now what I want to do with that is I'm going to hold my Option key on a Mac, and I'm going to grab this left-hand side and I'm going to drag it to the left. Now what I'm looking for is I want to let that white or the light area where the light's hitting it to be lessened up a little bit. And there we go. All right, so quickly I was able to make a selection of the shirt all by itself. I was able to apply a saturation, so we can take the color out of it and desaturate it. I multiplied that layer, and I've also created a color overlay with a solid color. Let's do the same thing one more time. Now you can actually, using this tool, maneuver around and find the thing, but select people is a pretty fast process. So let's take this guy. We're going to choose show more, upper close, apply, and I'm going to go back into this layer and do again Command J twice. that's going to be just his shirt. Same process. I can choose him. We can choose hue saturation. We want to choose this to clip it. Go back into our layers, multiply that layer, and we're going to apply a color, solid color. Let's go for green this time since we're kind of going for the Christmas vibe. Apply. The same thing I showed you just a second ago. Blending options, we're going to drag this over. So in a matter of seconds, I'm able to create color applied to individual objects. And here's one where I've actually kind of taken it a step further, finished putting the colors on all of these things. And this whole thing takes less than a minute. It takes me more time to explain it than to actually do it. So again, this is a kind of a neat feature in Photoshop beta available right now. You guys enjoy, and let me see what you come up with. Again, Brian Sykes, AI Lab.